Hey Al,
Hey.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. It's it seems like you've on court anyway. You've been wearing your emotions a little more in your sleeve lately, just sort of celebrating things. I mean, can you describe that feeling and just what it's like making these finals?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I just think that it's the playoffs. Uh, moments, a lot of emotion into this games, a lot of emotions, and I feel like as we keep going along, just it keeps getting more intense, and it's fun, and I'm really enjoying it out there, and uh, yeah, just kind of letting some stuff out now. So. Yeah.
First row on the right to Gary.
Uh, Gary Washburn, Boston Globe. Al, you played on some great defenses and you played on some good defenses here before you got here. What's the difference between this defense this year and the ones you played on here and before in Boston and others you've played on?
Um, yeah, well, just speaking about this team, solely the ability of our guys being able to guard 1 through 5, it's huge. And when you're able to do that and just switch all of us and being able to hold your own, I think it makes us very unique. And then when you have a guy like Rob Williams, that man, it's just so impressive. Just his presence, his ability to change shots, to make people think, going in the paint, just the way that he can move, the way that he recovers. Um, I just feel like it has put us in a different level. It just has, and in the past, I've been a part of really, really good defensive teams. We have, one that stands out to me was Tatum's rookie year, and Aaron Baines was great for us. The way that he protected the basket, his verticality, and that was about as good as a defensive team that I've been on. Um, and then, yeah, this one, this one is just very unique, and but the ability I feel like of guys being able to switch 1 through 5, and even the guys that come from the bench are able to do the same thing and hold their own and find a way and are just tough. That I feel like that's what has made us unique.
Second row on the right.
Tim Bontemps to ESPN. Two things quick, Al. First, obviously it was your first finals game on Thursday, and you've waited a long time to get here. What have kind of these past few days been like, and has it been different in any way or the same as to what you expected it would be?
Yeah, it's been different, just because it was my birthday yesterday, so just a lot of people, texting me happy birthday, like all that stuff, and then playing basketball at this time of year, it's something that I always wanted to do and be in these positions. So it's been exciting for me, and really I had no expectations how it was going to be, but after a win, you always, you feel good. But, I just kind of bring myself back down and understand that, it's only one game and there's still, a lot of work ahead.
Third quarters for basically this whole playoff run, something you've talked about a lot. Golden State, as you know, is historically great in those quarters. That's sort of how game one went. What has to change for that to not be the case in game two and beyond, so you guys don't have to obviously dig out of the kind of hole you did in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, no question. We have to be better coming out in the third. We have to be able to match, their energy, their pace, and they do a really good job with that. So I think it's something that we can control, and it's something that we need to be better at coming out tomorrow.
Left side, third row.
Joseph Pavone, CLNS Media. Al, going into this playoff run, I'm just wondering, when did the championship talk start? Was that just sort of an elephant in the room? Was that something that you guys talked about when the season started to turn around, going into the postseason? And if so, what were those talks like?
Not many talks, honestly. I think, when you play for the Boston Celtics, I know it may sound arrogant, but when you play for the Celtics, the expectation is to win a championship. Even when I got in 16, that was the expectation. even then. That's what it is in the organization. We don't have to talk about it. We don't even talk about it. At this point, we're just taking it a game at a time. But every year that I've been a part of the Celtics, that's always been kind of the expectation. It's something that's a standard that's there, and you're just working. And right now, there's no talk about that. It's just we're focusing on game 2 right now.
First row in the middle.
I'll help you out. Here we go. Sherrod Blakely, Bleach Report. Al, 2 questions. First off, what did you do to enjoy your birthday? And second question is when you left here for Philadelphia, things obviously didn't work out how you or the Sixers wanted. Oklahoma City, things didn't work out. Lots of questions about whether, does Al still have it? And then you come back to Boston and you look like you've done of late. What transformed in your game or just in your approach, or just what difference was it in you that led you to being as impactful as you've been in your second tour of duty, similar to what you were in the first, that wasn't there in those 2 stops in between?
Yesterday I just, hung out with the family, did a little sightseeing around San Francisco, and then got some food. So that was nice. And then to your question, I just think for me, there was much more of an appreciation the second time around. The first time around, it was as well. And we were in good positions. But for me this time around, Jason, Jalen, and Marcus have taken huge steps as players. They're in another level than when I was here the 2 years prior. And Rob Williams comes in and it's just, Rob, just unbelievable, the leap that he took from one year to another. And then with me coming in, it was just seeing that. And for me individually was having an opportunity to play and show what I can do. I've always felt confident in how I can impact the team and how I can play. And it's a little frustrating when you're not able to carry out or do those things. And the way that I took it was like, I'm just going to put my head down, and just continue to work during those years in Philly, during the year in Oklahoma, get better and wait for my time. And I knew that the time was going to come, that I was going to be able to be in these type of positions and have this opportunity. And now that it's here, I'm just very grateful and really making the most of it.
First row on the left.
Hi, Al. Abby Chin, NBC Sports Boston. But Telemundo asked me to ask you a couple questions for Boston. So if you could answer in Spanish, we would
Okay.
really appreciate it.
Sure.
Steph Curry was asked if losing game 1 was a come to Jesus moment, and he said, absolutely. What kind of response are you expecting from these Warriors who have won championships in the past and know what it takes?
Sí, yo espero que ellos van a salir a jugar muy agresivos. Ellos son un equipo que tiene mucha experiencia y ellos entienden cómo jugar. Y para nosotros eso no cambia nuestra estrategia. Tenemos que salir y hacer lo que nosotros hacemos, que es defender y mover el balón ofensivamente. Yeah.
Last question on the left, Brick Bucher.
Actually, I have 2 questions, if it's okay. The first, Al, what do you think is the binding element for this team, the thing that has brought this team together to be the way that it is?
I believe it has to do with our guys just wanting to win, and we enjoy being around each other. We understand of the challenges, but I do believe that it's our will to wanting to win, because it's not about the individual stuff, and I think our guys understand that it's more than that, and you can see it with our play, especially with our defense, the way that we're connected, the way that we play. We're enjoying being out there with one another and playing and being in those positions.
And I apologize if this has already been asked, but you guys have been exceptional at times and then not exceptional at all at times. I mean, it seems like there's been a roller coaster in the in what you go show what you're capable of, and then times it seems mysterious that you can't reach that level. Any explanation as to why you've been so up and down, even in these playoffs throughout these series?
Yeah, I think even though that a lot of our guys we've have had playoff experience, we've been part of winning teams, and I've said this before. This team this year, it's we're all in this together, trying to figure out how we can be better, how we can win together, and it can be a challenge sometimes, and sometimes you feel like you have it figured out, and you take a step back, and then you have to regroup and look at things and move forward. The good thing about our group is that I feel like we're continuing to grow. Even as this playoffs have gone on, I've seen our team get better. And that's something that's been consistent with our group. And our guys, have taken the criticism from coach or what we need to work on. And we've been able to learn from it and move on and try to be better. And that's what we've done, and that's what we're going to continue to do. From game 1 to game 2 now, we're looking to be better and see how we can tighten up and be even better for the next game.